Hey, it's your girl Carmelle Jean-Francois, owner and founder of C-Fit Coaching. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another installment of the Sugar Savvy Solution, acclimating the foodie in you to a life beyond sugar. I am Carmelle Jean-Francois. I am your health and wellness, fitness, and nutrition coach. I guide those who have come to realize that they have a food or sugar addiction or both. And I guide them through adapting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle in order to combat those addictions, as well as whatever chronic conditions that come along with it. Now, as I said, I'm a big proponent of adapting a whole food, plant-based lifestyle. That's my story. That's how I was able to combat my food addiction and my sugar addiction. And I went all in and I did it overnight and I figured it out along the way. I'm not saying that that has to be the route that you take. Sure, if you had access to it, join a community. Sure, if you could, hire a dietitian, work with a nutritionist, or even sign up and register for one of my 6-week cohorts where I guide people to do just that. But if that's not what you need or plan to do right now at this moment, then there's always another way and you can start it right now. And that's going back to basics, right? It's understanding the fundamentals and what plants do for us. So I'm always saying I'm here to encourage everybody to add more plants to their plates. And I do that for 2 reasons, because it works. Add more plants to your plate. I mean, add some fresh steamed broccoli or maybe even raw to whatever dish that you're having, be it a dish full of other vegetables or a dish with some meat protein. I don't care. Right now, I just want you to add more plants to your plate and each plate throughout the course of the day. So this episode, I really want to talk about going back to basics. We don't always have to make our meals look like a gourmet dish. I'm literally talking about grab some lettuce. I'm talking about the romaine. I'm talking about the kale. I'm talking about the spinach. Add some of these greens onto your plate. Yes, maybe there's cucumber. And I'm always teasing about the fact that a salad to most people is some lettuce, cucumber, and some tomatoes. But it's about incorporating all the vegetables, any plant foods. And what do I mean by that? It includes our greens, it includes our fresh fruits and vegetables, of course. And it also includes our legumes. That would be our beans. That's where we would get our protein from, for everybody who's wondering. It would also include whole, intact grains like wild rice, our quinoa, wheat, if you're not sensitive to the gluten. And it also includes herbs and spices and our mushroom, which is a different part of the plant kingdom. Let's face it, there are some vegetables that we do like, right? I hope so. There's some vegetables that we're kind of like, I don't want any part of that, but that's okay too. So grab some of the vegetables that you do enjoy, mix them up or not. All I want you to do is add some more plants to your plate or add it into your bowl. Add it into your soup, your smoothies. When I first became whole food plant-based, I literally did not know how to do that. So everything went into the blender. I was able to fill my body up with so many nutrients from all the vegetables and fruits that I was throwing into my blender that it left little room for craving. My body was satiated. I had all my vitamins and minerals. I had all of my macronutrients as well as my micronutrients. My body didn't want or need for anything. So I didn't crave anything. That is what blew my mind when I came to that realization, thinking, I have not craved anything, none of the things that I usually crave, and it sends me down the wrong path. Now, I want you to think for a second right now. What are your favorite fruits and vegetables? What are your favorite legumes, which would be the beans, right? Black beans, red beans. Do you like those chickpeas? What are your favorite grains? Do you have a favorite wild rice? Do you have a favorite rice, period? Let's start including more of those foods and less of the ultra processed foods that we get from the supermarket. Now, I know it's challenging to get into the kitchen and really fuss over your food and cook and cook and cook. What about batch cooking? What about letting it spread for the next few days, keeping it in the refrigerator and adding handfuls of fruits and vegetables here and there into your meals? I want to really take it back to the basics where it doesn't have to be anything extraordinary. And that's really not necessary right now if you're just starting out on this journey. I don't want you to be overwhelmed and so overwhelmed that you don't start and you don't do anything. We need you to start right now. And if that means adding a cup of broccoli to your dinner tonight, then that's what it means. Another way to go back to the basics is by going to the produce section and actually finding a fruit or vegetable that you have not tried before. You've never tried it, or maybe you tried it when you were younger and really don't know much about that vegetable. I would encourage you, learn a little bit about that vegetable and the benefits it has in the human body. And then find a recipe for it, albeit 2-ingredient recipe, and just create something. Whether you throw it in a blender and make it into a smoothie, or you steam it and you put it next to tonight's chicken. Just start somewhere. For more ideas, definitely check out my YouTube channel. I have a ton of recipes I've tried, and I have some 1-ingredient things that I've put together simply because I wanted to know what that one fruit tasted like or that one vegetable tasted like. But aside from food, I want to touch on something else. Now, I'm always saying that our overall health and wellness has so much more to do than the kale that's at the end of our forks and how many squats we do. Our health and wellness, including our addictions to food and sugar, all stems from other things as well. It stems from the relationships that we have. Are they toxic, or are they beautiful relationships where we can find solace and solitude and peace and happiness and joy, right? Stress. I don't believe in managing stress, but I do believe in managing our emotions, managing our reactions to stress as they come across to us in our lives. Sleep. Yes, I have such a challenge making sure that I get enough sleep. And when I don't get enough sleep, my body feels it in a very, very negative way. It's very impactful. So I'm very conscious about the amount of sleep. Whew, that was a beat. I'm very conscious of the amount of sleep that I get, and it's so important. And it's not only about the number of hours that we sleep. It's literally how many restful hours that we sleep. When you wake up, how do you wake up? Are you waking up groggy? Are you waking up sleepy and tired and lethargic? Or are you waking up ready to take on the day? That's the difference between the quantity of hours that we sleep and the quality of sleep that we actually get during the course of the night. Super important. Another important thing that I always emphasize to my clients is getting out in nature. As soon as the spring and summer hit, I was like, I gotta get out. Hence me coming out here and even recording this. Why should I do it in my apartment when I have this beautiful greenery around me? Now, for those of you who do not have access to parks and recreational areas, I get it. But being outdoors, if even for 5 minutes, if even to walk around your block, is so beneficial for us to take in that fresh air, for us to see the sun and let the sun see us. That's where we get our vitamin D from, right? And just to interact with other people, even if it's just looking. Listen, being outside is such a beautiful gift. And we've almost lost that relationship to the outdoors because it's so much more comfortable sometimes to be in an air-conditioned space. Our computers are there, the phone is there. Everything that we need is indoors within the 4 walls that we often find ourselves in. So going outside sometimes is just to run errands. But I implore you, go outside, enjoy the sun if you can, if it's safe. Ground a little bit, go hug a tree. You know I cannot end this without saying exercise. Exercise, movement is so important. And when I say exercise, I don't mean go run out and get some kind of a gym membership or hire a trainer or maybe even be a part of a community. What I'm really talking about, just keeping active and keep moving, right? Whether it's you're out in your yard gardening or inside vacuuming and sweeping, it all counts, it all matters. Right? And movement throughout the course of the day. I promise you, just because you got up and did an hour and a half of an intense workout, whether cardio or strength, being sedentary for the rest of the day is not beneficial. We still have to get up and move throughout the course of the day. So I urge you and I encourage you to do that as well. Exercise matters, movement matters. Even if you have to jump on YouTube and follow somebody and watch their workout and do that on repeat, the goal is to move. Just be safe with your movement. Know that you could do the movements of whoever it is that you're following. Make sure they have options for beginners if you are a beginner, and get that body moving. And last but not least, water. So many of us are walking around completely dehydrated. Go grab some water and drink your water. When we're thinking that is so complicated and everything has to be such a production, I want you to stop and say, let's go back to the basics and let's keep this simple. I'm Carmelle Jean-Francois, and I just want you to be savvy about your sugar, and I want you to be savvy about your food. I want you to keep it simple, and I want to see you well. So do me a favor right now, subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and hit the notification so you know every time that I'm on. I would appreciate your support, and it would only encourage me to come back and share more of the information that I've gathered to you more often. Ciao, ciao. I just want you to be savvy about your sugar, and I just want you to be savvy about your sugar, and I want you to be I'm Carmelle.